Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Donna, and I'm your host of The Edge on IC Radio, your source for news and entertainment. You can also find us on television, channel 182 on Charter Communications, and we are syndicated worldwide on another TV station. Guess what that one is? They're found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. We are so proud to be part of that. Oh, and check out the podcast. And the podcast address, find it on the internet, netnewsnetwork.net. There's a lot of nets in there, AP.
That sure is. Yeah.
Netnewsnetwork.net. And it's really easy to remember because of that. So anyway, we appreciate Abundant Television. It's just really been awesome too. So Rob Patch, thank you so much for continuing to let us be a part of your big television station. We appreciate that. I have a special friend with me right now. His name is AP Stedham, and up in this neck of the woods, and basically all over Abundant Television as well, he's everybody's sports guy. So AP is good to be with you. He's a sports guy, sports analyst. He also has his own talk show, and AP and Kelly. And so we're proud to have you on the show today. How's everything going?
Hey, good, Donna. Good. So glad to be on the show. Yeah, we're getting closer and closer to the football. We have a lot of spring games that happened, so people are getting excited, just getting a sniff of the grass and the footballs flying through the air on Saturdays. So some of these spring football games. So yeah, we're approaching that time of year, right before the summer starts and the weather's getting better, hopefully, everywhere. And the football players. Donna, when we first spoke about the transfer portal, I mean, that's been pretty important to a lot of football teams and coaches and players alike and fans. They had it scheduled for May 1st through May 15th. Well, they decided to make a change in March, relatively not very long ago. It's April 15th. It's already started.
Oh, wow.
So it's April 15th through the 30th, I believe. So they changed it. They moved it up. So, I mean, there are players that are actually participating in their spring game and announcing on the 15th, the same day as the game, that they're transferring. So that's kind of
why did they move up? Why did they move it up like that?
Yeah, Don, I'm not really sure why they didn't. I'm thinking that May 1st was a good deadline or good time to start because you want to let the spring games happen, and most of them will be completed by the end of April. But they just moved it. The committee came up with that notion, and so it kind of happened very fast because we had been talking about May 1st for a very long time.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So what's going to be, are there going to be any new trends happening in football this year?
Yeah, Donna, I'm thinking that it's going to be pretty much the same, I believe. Though probably, I think there's some rule changes with the time. When you have a first down, usually the clock stops. So they're going through some changes with that clock to speed up the game. That's going to be a slight change. Yeah, that's a slight change, Donna, where they're speeding up the game and condensing the time it takes to compete one football game. So that's a little bit of a change. But I think essentially the offenses and the defenses, special team, will be pretty much the same. I think that that trend. It's been a trend for let's say 5 years that people like that dual threat quarterback. They like the quarterback that can run as well as throw the football. Me personally, because if you're playing against a top team and it's really going back and forth, I want the quarterback that's in the pocket the last 2 minutes can complete a pass. I mean, that's still important to me if I have a quarterback. That's my preference. But we all know that it's exciting to see the quarterback run, but it's a quarterback-centric era of football, really, Donna. Because if you don't have a quarterback that is above average, then probably your team is going to be below average. That's going to happen because the ball's in their hands all the time. They're either throwing it or the quarterback's running or pitching the ball on the option to the running back or wide receiver that's in the formation in the backfield. So the quarterback is so important, and everybody's looking for the quarterback. I think one of the trends we're seeing the last few years, quarterback transfers. They're playing the spring game. They've approached the coach. They have the conversation, Coach, do I have a chance? Do I have a chance to compete for this position realistically? And if the coach is honest with them and he says, well, son, I think that so-and-so is our starting quarterback. You're still second string, then you're seeing these people move to another school,
Mhm,
and it's just becoming the norm. Donna.
mhm. The
Yeah,
reason I ask you about trends is who was it who sent that? Okay, it was Trey. Trey sent a question um, about the penalties, and I kind of get where he's coming from. Like you can see the camera focused right in on what really happened, but the
right.
referees kind of they tend to whatever they think they saw. That needs to be adjusted. I agree with Trey on this.
Yeah, they have the review on some of the plays done, but not every play is reviewable. So the ones that are subject to interpretation, they'll take the time out, go to the sideline. They have the cameras, the video set up, and they'll review it, and they'll act accordingly. But sometimes, Donna, you're watching the replay yourself, and you're
Mhm.
thinking, well, I know what the
Look at
conclusion
it
would
from
be for
point
this
of
play.
view. What really
Yeah,
happened?
yeah, and sometimes I think there's an error. Even though they have the video, they're reviewing it. Sometimes I don't agree, but most of the time I do. But I know it's very difficult to call football, Donna. When we are at the SEC meetings in Destin, Florida, we meet with the head of the officials, and they'll give us a clicker, a device, and they'll play um, uh, the tackles that are really hard, where you're knocking the heads and things like that. The players are getting injured, and we have to make a decision. And even if we have all that time to review it, we still make the wrong call, because that's such a difficult call. The targeting call is so difficult because it's going fast. There's the placement of the helmet and the head if it's leading. I mean, so there's some guidelines that you have, but even with the replay, it's difficult to make the call.
Mhm. That's true. I like to watch the coaches, especially when we really saw that it really happened. And then they'll show like, Saban or somebody, and they're just having a fit out on throwing
Right.
stuff, just going all crazy.
Yeah.
And a lot of people have said, I don't think the coach needs to act like that. Well, I probably would if I saw the call was
Yeah.
called the wrong way.
Right. Yeah. I would think you're going to react, Donna. You're going to be animated to some degree at different levels, each coach, but some of them are not reviewable. But what you're doing, Donna, is planting the seed for the next time that occurs, because
Mhm.
you can't change the play. It's not reviewable. But
Uh-huh.
you're letting the official know that I think you made an error. The next time, check for this particular incident, and I want you to change your viewpoint.
Mhm. And
Yeah,
then we have safety in football, and people know better than to grab the helmet and pull it like that. But they still continue to do that. They need to be pulled out of the game when they do that.
yeah. I mean, sometimes you're watching the people make the tackle, and their hands are up by the helmet. I'm not trying to tackle somebody by the helmet. It's just not a smart move, because more than likely you are going to grab the face mask. Your hands are going to get entangled. Your fingers are going to get entangled in the helmet and the face mask. It's going to be a penalty. And if you twist the neck, a lot of it'll be 15 yards instead of the 5. Accidental is the 5 yard. 15 yards is the intentional. So yeah, you try to make the proper tackle and stay away from the helmet and the head.
I would love to be in the locker room when somebody does something like that. When they go for halftime, I bet the coach is all over it.
Yeah, oh, I'm sure. Yeah, they're going to point these things out. That's the responsibility. You're trying to get your team to stay away from the penalties. They're so crucial in a tight ball game. So, yeah, the coach is going to make reference to that play, not only to that individual, but to the team. Or let's stay away from that type of penalty.
Yeah, there's so many components for a successful football team. One of those is the band and the cheerleaders and the majorettes and all of that. I mean, it makes it all work.
Yeah, most of the football coaches down there, they'll meet with the band and the cheerleaders and the cheer squads prior to the season. They'll give them a pep talk, just like he was speaking to his team, because he knows that that's a vital factor in the home games. The band is there, and the cheer squad, the cheerleaders. The band makes some of the away games, but not all of them. But yeah, they want to keep the pageantry, and they want to keep everything in favor when they play a home game. I mean, they want to have all the spirit with with the crowd and the band and the cheerleaders and the cheer squad, they contribute to that atmosphere. I mean, and the recruits are on campus, they'll see and hear the band and the cheerleaders and cheer squad and, the majorettes. And so this is all part of college football, the experience.
Makes it all really fun. Mary asked a question, and she said, this is pointed at you. She said, if you were playing football,
yes,
what part would you want to play?
Well, yeah, I played some football, Donna, when I was younger, and I played the quarterback position, wide receiver, and defense. I was the defensive back. So yeah, I had fun. I liked playing the game, and I didn't mind hitting. It didn't bother me. I mean, I enjoyed tackling, and I enjoyed throwing the football. I enjoyed catching the football. So those are the three areas that I chose to try to play the game.
Now, what's going on this week with your show, AP and Kelly, as we see it?
Every Friday on IC Radio, 4 p.m. Central, every Friday. Kelly, this past week, if people want to listen to the show, we had Mario Morris, who's from Decatur, Alabama, and he is the Vice President of Administration and the Chief Financial Officer at the NCAA. So he's in a very powerful and influential position. He was a former linebacker at Alabama on the 92 championship team. But this week, we're going to have Blake Topmeyer. Blake is a columnist for the USA Today covering the Southeastern Conference.
Wow.
So Blake used to be a writer for the University of Missouri team and University of Tennessee. So people are familiar with him in the Southeastern Conference. So yeah, we're going to have some discussion about the Southeastern Conference, and we look forward to our talk with Blake. He's always he knows a lot. He's interesting, and he has a great perspective. So yeah, Blake Topmeyer from the USA Today.
Absolutely. You know something, already halfway through the show, we've got to go into a commercial break. We'll be right back in just a couple of minutes. Y'all hang in there.
At Lamone's Mexican Restaurant, located in Henniger, Alabama, and voted Best Mexican Restaurant of DeKalb County, Alabama 2020, we're here to serve you with authentic Mexican cuisine. Order easily online by going to lamonsmex.com or call 256-657-3999 to place your order. We're open Sunday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Friday and Saturday, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Whether you're celebrating a cozy date night for two or a celebration for a crowd, at Lamone's you'll love our atmosphere and friendly servers. Thank you for dining with Lamone's Mexican Restaurant. Let Rhonda at Rhonda's Elite Tax LLC take the burden off you for all your tax needs. I know because Rhonda has been taking care of my business since 2013. I feel Rhonda works for me because she knows the direct questions to ask to better benefit my unique business in order for me to get back the biggest refund possible. Rhonda is an ongoing student, and she knows tax laws are in a constant change every year. Call 256-281-9903 for an appointment to take the dread out of getting your taxes done. Rhonda is located at 11968 U.S. Highway 431 in Boaz. Again, that number is 256-281-9903. And let Rhonda's Elite Tax LLC champion your personal and business taxes.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and my employees and I want to thank each and every one of you for your continued support. With everything going on right now, your rest is so important. That's why we're having the biggest MyPillow sale ever. Not only are my bed pillows as low as $19.98, but you can get the best body pillows ever. Regular $89.98, now only $29.98. Take your rest on the go with our Roll and Go Anywhere MyPillows for only $14.98. And we have our new couch and accent pillows. They aren't just for looks. They have MyPillow's patented adjustable fill that gives you that amazing MyPillow comfort. In this economy, you get the best gifts ever for the best prices ever. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code and you get deep discounts on body, couch, bolster pillows, and so much more, including my original bed pillows for as low as $19.98. Please order now while quantities last.
Jeff McCurdy of the McCurdy Law Firm has been a public service of this area for over 10 years. McCurdy, a member of the Henniger City Council, serves as prosecutor for the town of Sylvania and was named public defender for the city of Rainsville. The McCurdy Law Firm is located at 17326 Alabama Highway 75 in Henniger to better represent his Jackson and DeKalb County clients. If you need to be represented by a true public servant with proven success, call Jeff at 256-996-8701 or send a private email to mccurdylawfirm@gmail.com. No representation is made that the legal services performed is greater than the legal services performed by other lawyers. At Liberty Bank, we're all about community, whether it's to help with a charity fundraiser or help families in need. Toys at Christmas or a local football team, we're here for you. You see, we realize the importance of family. Sometimes it's to build a new home or necessary home repairs. We're here for you. If you like the feel of a small town bank with all the conveniences of a big city bank, we're here to serve you. You will find us at any of our convenient locations in DeKalb, Marshall, Etowah, and Blount counties in North Alabama. You can call and speak with any of our friendly staff at 256-659-2175 or check us out on the web at libertybankal.com. And thank you for your support of our community. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
Okay, we are back. My name is Donna and I'm your host of The Edge on IC Radio, your source for news and entertainment. You can also find us on television, channel 182 on Charter Communications Abundance Television, which is found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. Check out the podcast right down there, netnewsnetwork.net. That's a bunch of nets, I'm telling you. So be going to check it out. You know, AP, there's a lot of really good talk show hosts who are on that network. So anyway, go check it out. I think you're going to like what you see. I don't know if you know who Diamond and Silk are. Diamond and Silk. Diamond actually passed away, so Silk has taken the show up. And so she was on the show last week. So everybody go check out that podcast. I think you'll really enjoy it. I'm going to tell you what, those girls are really animated. They're all over it. So check it out. So AP, we've been talking about football. We're all excited. Can't wait. I mean, it's just, it's the anticipation. So I know you probably haven't had time, or really not enough activity to make the top 5 yet. If you had to
Right.
choose the top 5, who would you say the top 5?
Donna, we have to, we're trying to look at the teams across the SEC and the country. I think you always have to consider Georgia now because of the talent that's recruited there year to year, and we know that Kirby Smart and his staff are able to develop and recruit the players. So, in that conversation, Alabama, I think you're looking at LSU, Brian Kelly. I think that's a team, they won the SEC Western Division his very first year in the league. I think that Tennessee is a team that is getting better every year. They're trying to improve defensively, and they had their scrimmage on Saturday, and Joe Milton, he was the returning quarterback. He ended up starting after Hendon Hooker got injured at the end of the season. But Joe started a couple of years ago, transferred from Michigan. And then they have the freshman from California, Nico Amaleva. I believe that's how you pronounce it. So he's very good. Yeah, it's difficult to pronounce. So, and then you're going to look at the Ohio State. They're looking for a new quarterback, but they have the talent like Georgia recruiting across the country. They have exceptional skill players most of the time at wide receiver in the quarterback positions. I think you're looking at USC. They're trying to get better defensively. I watched them a little bit on Saturday. They had their spring game. Texas is trying to get back into the top 10 on an annual basis because their school with a lot of resources, and they'll tell you all the time, we have the resources, but they are a school that has not used their resources to the full capacity historically. They have some good talent this year. So I think Texas, I'm thinking Clemson, that they have to revamp things from last season. They were upset by South Carolina, lost the bowl game to Tennessee. So, Michigan's a team. You have to discuss them, of course, with Jim Harbaugh. He's building that program steadily year to year. I'm trying to think of one other team that I think is in that discussion. I think that's the team for me in the discussion. I'm just looking at the different conferences. And of course, Notre Dame, the coach is in his second year now. So they have good talent. Maybe not the top talent, but they have very good talent. So I'll say a couple teams from the Big Ten, Texas, let's say from the Big 12, Notre Dame as an independent. You look at maybe in Oregon out west as well. Bo Nix is back for another year. I think he could be a strong Heisman candidate if things work out well. And of course, in the SEC, Alabama, LSU, Georgia, and as I said, Clemson in the ACC. So I would think those are the teams that people are going to look at. Outside chance that they have to, beat Michigan and Ohio State or beat one of them to be in the conversation. But I think those are some of the top teams that we can expect to challenge to be in the college football playoff, which is in the last year. I think is this the last year of just the 4 teams, and they move to the 12 in the coming years. Yeah.
How would you gauge the coach at Auburn? Is he making any headways?
Yeah, Hugh Freeze, he's going to do a good job with his quarterbacks. He's always been a person that has been able to set up his system where the quarterback has a limited amount of choices and improves on the completion percentage. So I think he'll do a good job there. He's trying to improve that offensive line. That's been something that Auburn's been lacking because the quarterbacks haven't run for their life for a number of years now. So he's trying to improve that offensive line. He's trying to get the quarterbacks to play with consistency and be more accurate with their throws. And I would say Auburn, they're looking for a quarterback in the transfer portal. If they find one, they're going to ask him to come to Auburn. I know that's on the agenda for Hugh Freeze. So, but Auburn is kind of a wild card this year, Donna, first year for Hugh Freeze. And he needs to get that offense cranked up to have a chance, because it's an era of football. It's centered around the offense primarily. People are scoring a lot of points.
Well, this is crucial. If they don't make it this year, what do you think will happen? They're going to look for another coach. They'll continually look for coaches there.
Yeah, no, they'll give him a chance. He'll have his 2 and 3 years to get things moving in the right direction. He will.
Yeah. He needs to be a Superman, though. I mean, he really needs to, because I'm always going to be an Auburn fan, always, no matter what. You got to be with them through the good times and the bad times as well.
Yeah, Auburn's in between Alabama to the west and Georgia to the east, and they play those teams every year. So that makes it crucial for him to be very competitive.
Well, Chris sent a message, but he did say, chuckle, chuckle. Is Saban staying in Alabama? Yes, Chris.
Yeah, he's not going anywhere. He's not going in. This year he'll be 72 on Halloween. Him and Mac Brown from North Carolina, they'll both be 72 this year.
Some people just carry it well, though. And I think it's because of their drive and their ambition, and he has probably worked just about his entire life.
Right, yeah, they don't know any other way. They're very active and, get up early and have some tremendous energy. Yeah, and they have endurance.
I think that probably carries on over into because you actually guide by example. And I think that the players see that. And that's probably another reason they have such a successful team.
Yeah, Donna, tell them I'll take a chocolate milkshake.
The chocolate milkshake will do, absolutely. Hey, let me tell Phil something. Phil, get my phone call Lowe's. So it's one of my sponsors, but we're actually waiting on a big shipment of stuff to come here to the farm. So I'm sorry about that. But anyway, that was Lowe's calling. So, oh wow, football, it's just in the air, and I'm so excited about it.
Yeah, Donnie, the springtime, you're experimenting with your team. Maybe you're trying to look at someone playing another position. You're trying to create depth across the offense, the defense, the special team. You're implementing the system with the younger players. They arrived in January, some of them. You're waiting on, maybe a junior college transfer came in, maybe a transfer came in. So there's some new people that are learning your system. So it's a time where you're teaching quite a bit as a coach.
Well, you're in the unique position where you get to see things before we all get to see it. Is there a new player out on any team somewhere on the horizon that you've got an eye out for?
Yeah. Well, when you look across the conference down in the SEC, you're trying to figure out who is going to be the starting quarterback. I mean, that's because it's so important. So when you have that big battle at Auburn, at Georgia, you have the quarterback battle at Ole Miss. They have three quarterbacks. They had a starting quarterback, Jackson Dart from USC, but they brought in two other quarterbacks, Walker Howard from LSU and Sanders from Oklahoma State. So that's three quarterbacks, not two, three at Ole Miss. Then you're looking at some of the other schools. Wisconsin had the transfer. Florida had the transfer from Wisconsin. So in South Carolina, you're wondering, can Spencer Rattler, the transfer from Oklahoma, who was a Heisman favorite, believe it or not, the year before at Oklahoma, can he have a dynamic season and help the Gamecocks make some improvement in the win column this year? They need some help on the defensive side, but can Spencer Rattler in the second year of Shane Beamer's excel? So yeah, I'm just looking at these quarterbacks, Donna, because it's so important in the won-loss column. Because if your quarterback's not playing well, then you're struggling. You're struggling.
Absolutely. Nick made a suggestion not a suggestion. He made a comment. He said that he's been watching us for a long time, and he has noticed we always say something about the kicker, and he says he agrees. So sometimes the kicker saves the day.
Yeah. As we approach the season, Donna, I'm going to have to go through all the kickers in the league. Who's returning? Who's a new kicker? Because as you said, it's so competitive in the Southeastern Conference. You're going to have some games where it gets down to the kicker. We saw in that Tennessee game where Alabama's kicker missed the field goal. Tennessee's kicker made the field goal. That was the difference in the game. 52 to 49. So you're exactly correct with your assessment of the kicker can make a difference.
Thanks, Nick. And thanks for watching for a long time. We definitely appreciate that. AP, less than a minute left in this segment. What do you want to tell folks before you go?
Yeah, I'm just thinking that get ready for football season. I know people are looking at the games that they would like to attend. We're going to be talking about some of those in the coming months. I know an interesting game for the Auburn people. First time ever playing at the University of California. That'd be a great trip for somebody. They've never been to California. You get to see your team. You get to see Northern California up by San Francisco and Oakland and Berkeley. So and then Texas visits Alabama, first time in about 100 years. That's on the same weekend, September 9th, the second weekend. So there's some really interesting non-conference games. LSU travels to Orlando to play Florida State. So, get those trips ready because the hotels fill up and you want to have a place to stay and enjoy these away games with your team.
Nobody wants to sleep in their car. You don't want to do that.
No.
Thank you so much for being on the show. Can't wait to see you on Friday, Football Friday at 4, AP and Kelly as we see it. Thank you again. Hope you have a great, great week.
Okay, thank you, Donna. Football Fridays at 4.
There you go. Okay, folks, we're going to see you a little bit later with another awesome guest like AP. We'll be back shortly. Good afternoon. My name is Donna and I'm your host of The Edge on IC Radio, and we are your source for news and entertainment. You can also find us on television, channel 182 on Charter Communications, and Abundance Television, found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. We're syndicated there. You can also check out the podcast, and that's netnewsnetwork.net. netnewsnetwork.net. Again, thank you so much for watching. Let's talk a little bit about jobs, okay? And I wanted to point this out, though. There are some very, very good jobs out there right now, and you can get proper training from Northeast Alabama Community College. So I wanted to mention that. As a matter of fact, if I were some of you young folks right now, I would be going for those certificates, and I'd hold 2 of those jobs in. You know, you could have a house paid off in a year if you did that. Absolutely. So go ahead and check that out. Northeast Alabama Community College, nacc.edu. That's nacc.edu. And you'll find the load of their schedules, the classes, and all those things that are available. Not to mention the things they really do that is awesome for the community. I wanted to talk about jobs, saving yourself, okay? If you just happen to not be in the job of your dreams, there are 16 signs that you're wasting your life in the wrong job. And this information is found on LinkedIn.com. That's LinkedIn.com. You're probably reading this because you're interested in knowing how to save yourself from the insanity that work brings you. It's not why I'm reading it. I love what I do. Don't worry after reading this, and if you feel that you can relate, you can surely update your CV and send them out somewhere else. Send out those resumes. So how do you know if you're an employee that's in distress? There are 16 signs. I have been in a job before that I wasn't happy with, but sometimes you've got to take a particular job to be able to move up to the next one. So think about it that way as well. So here's number 1. Your super skills and mighty talents are getting rusty. Oh my goodness, you're not using all of your talents? Don't let that stuff go to waste. So here's how they explain that. You have unique talents and special skills that are not put into good use. So you badly want to show off what you can do, but there's no outlet in order to do that. Channels for sharpening skills and honing talents are so hard to come by. Let me tell you a good channel, okay? Find a really good community college. And if you like working with your hands, and those are some of the best paying jobs out there, by the way, no college debt, you can go on ahead and work your way into a grand job. You know, there are jobs that are available that used to be called like guy jobs that women are doing right now. They say women make excellent welders. I like working with my hands. I've been manufacturing jewelry since I was 14 years old. So, but I have the tools that are handy to do that. So if you like working with your hands, check out some of those jobs that are available. And that's Northeast Alabama Community College. Now, number 2, you're suffering from mental cobwebs and you're just not learning anything new. I think we've all been through that. It could be the stress of things happening at home, in addition to maybe a job you're not totally happy with. So if that's happening to you, your job does not require you to think. And it's all you do. It's the same old thing, day in, day out. Your brain lost its function. Brain cells are covered in cobwebs, and brain waves are at a standstill. Don't be surprised if you're slowly turning into a mindless zombie. We don't want that happening to you. Now, I got to say this, though. Sometimes it's what you bring to the job. I was working a corporate job once, and, you know, I was waiting on some clients to come in to the office, and so I was going to have the client come into the kitchen because it was the most private place we could come. He was a police chief, and I kept going to his office, and we were always being interrupted. So I said, well, just come to my office. And so someone was using mine, so it was not available. So I thought, well, I got to interview him in the kitchen. So I looked and I saw a pile of dishes like way up to here. And the cleaning person didn't come into the shop, into the office, except on Fridays. And this was like Wednesday. And there were a lot of dishes out there that need to be washed. I could sit there and I was like, no, I'm not going to sit here. I'm going to wash those dishes because he's going to be watching the dishes instead of me. And I've got to have his focus. I've got to have him listening to what I've got to say about the cell phones. This is back in the day when no one had a cell phone. So it was to sell the person on the idea of it. So I went and I started washing the dishes. Then the administrative assistant came in and said, are you trying to show us up? And I said, no. I said, I don't want him washing the dishes instead of me. So there's some things you can do on your job to make it a lighter load. And guess what? The boss always notices those things as well. Okay, so let's talk about this one. You feel stuck at your desk, kind of like a robot doing the same thing over and over again. It's a mindless sea. You just keep doing the same thing over and over again. You never have the chance to move around. You don't have other reasons to leave your desk unless you need to go to the restroom or need to go get some lunch. So we're talking about every single day here. This is terrible. Your posture might freeze and you might get stuck in the shape of a chair. Don't be shocked if you start to grow roots there. There are other things you can do. Sometimes I would just stand up. There might be a rainy day, maybe days I didn't have appointments, and I would go into the office and I would stand up while I was talking with people on the job. You don't have to just sit unless you're on a computer all day long and you like that kind of thing. But yeah, some people really like to do other things. Okay, let's see. Let's talk about this one. You want to change the topic whenever people ask you about your job. Might be an issue there. Let's say, hey, Donna, how are things working out on the job? And you start, well, let's see. Can we talk about sun shining outside? That could be an issue. So this has been the most dreaded question you always have to avoid. Okay, so this is your position. Sounds like the world needs you type of job. But what do you actually do? Shuffle papers, click random letters into the keyboard, stare at the monitor. And it's terrible to have to explain these ideas. Now you can find this on linkedin.com. And I've just got to say, there are lots of really great jobs out there. And they pay very well. So get off the duff and just go out there and try to find the right one for you, okay? Okay, you're so bored to the point of browsing other job vacancies. Now that's pretty boring. La 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 la. What can I do next? Okay, so you search for other jobs that do not make you feel this way. Okay, this could be another response right here. You are basically underemployed. What does underemployed mean? So here is that wow factor job title again. So you got a job title, but you don't feel like that you're really doing the job you'd like to do. Sounds like a high rank position, sounds like a boss material, but the real deal is you're a slave to another person who is not even your boss. Might as well call you a boss boy. Well, if you're that unhappy, let me tell you something you can do. This is what bosses like, okay? They like people who are bored, who go to them and say, look, I'm bored. Give me other things to do. I want to feel like I am worthy for your company. And that's a great way to put it. I just want to feel like I'm doing the best job I can possibly do because there's something inside me that makes me really want to get out there and help you make your company flow. And I promise you they'll look for something else. You got to really mean it though, okay? You act like a mosquito trying to get out of the stagnant workplace. This means you keep disappearing. You're itching to leave your desk and go somewhere. Tardiness, absences, for you, it's not forbidden. It has become a natural thing, and the best thing is that you don't even care. My goodness, you've got to care about a job. Let me tell you something my granddad told me a long time ago. He said, you know what? Now, he had a 6th grade education and wound up getting a job with USDA. He was an inspector with the USDA, and that was a good job. Now you would have to have a degree to have that position he had back in the day. And he said, you know what? You have to start at the bottom. You cannot start at the top. First of all, you need to start at the bottom so you can know all of the jobs, right? So you can know what it takes to get to the top. That way, when you are at the top, you're going to be able to tell and give people really good advice on how they can grow in the company, right? Absolutely. And this is something else he said. I said, well, Papa, I was living in Geraldine. And I said, where am I going to work? There's nothing here. And he said, you know what? Start out by flipping burgers. And you be the best burger flipper they ever had. And he said, then it'll be satisfying when you're at home. And when you go home from your job. And he said, pick up a broom, look for something to do. Don't just sit there, during slow times. Always find something to do. And I promise you too, he was right. Time goes by a lot faster. Okay, let's see. You are unhappy even if you have the most harmonious working environment. What does that mean? No matter how peaceful your workplace is or how many friends you have, it's still not enough to make you feel complete. Your coworkers can't talk you out of resigning, and they can't even make you stay. Your focus is to find a fulfilling career. but you need to analyze it. What is it you're looking for in a career? Are you on a career path your parents wanted you to follow, and maybe it was something you didn't really want to do? I'll have to tell you, in school, I was always really, really good at math. So my dad always thought I should be an accountant. I wouldn't have been a good accountant. I tell you, because I can't. He would say, "You're so good with numbers. You need to do that. Start your own business, and go get your degree in accounting, and do all this kind of stuff." I would have been so unhappy. It was just not my thing. So you got to find what makes you happy. And there are several different. You can go to an employment agency, and they can give you some tests, and there's all kinds of great things you can do to find out what really makes you tick. Because if you're in a job and you're not really happy there, it's probably hard for you to figure out what you want to do, right? So go find a placement, career placement counsel, and I'm pretty sure they can help you out. Okay, now this is sad right here. You dread every single morning you have to wake up to go to work. Don't have that kind of life. Don't. How many times do you have to snooze? How many times do you have to hit that snooze button? How long does it take you even to get out of the bed? If this scene becomes part of a movie, the title would be Drag Me. But no, it's just your office. So again, if it's something you're not happy with, could it be the coworkers you're not happy with? Could it be your boss you're not happy with? Maybe you have a boss who didn't move up the ranks like you're trying to do, and they're trying to tell you something, and they really can't give you a good scenario because they've never been there. Talk to them about it. Sometimes you just have to break the ice and just say something. Let's go to a commercial break, and we will be right back in just a few minutes.
At Lamone's Mexican Restaurant, located in Henniger, Alabama, and voted Best Mexican Restaurant of DeKalb County, Alabama 2020, we're here to serve you with authentic Mexican cuisine. Order easily online by going to lamonsmex.com or call 256-657-3999 to place your order. We're open Sunday through Thursday 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Friday and Saturday 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Whether you're celebrating a cozy date night for two or a celebration for a crowd, at Lamone's you'll love our atmosphere and friendly servers. Thank you for dining with Lamone's Mexican Restaurant. At Liberty Bank, we're all about community, whether it's to help with a charity fundraiser or help families in need. Toys at Christmas or a local football team, we're here for you. You see, we realize the importance of family. Sometimes it's to build a new home or necessary home repairs. We're here for you. If you like the feel of a small town bank with all the conveniences of a big city bank, we're here to serve you. You will find us at any of our convenient locations in DeKalb, Marshall, Etowah, and Blount counties in North Alabama. You can call and speak with any of our friendly staff at 256-659-2175 or check us out on the web at libertybankal.com. And thank you for your support of our community. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender. Let Rhonda at Rhonda's Elite Tax LLC take the burden off you for all your tax needs. I know because Rhonda has been taking care of my business since 2013. I feel Rhonda works for me because she knows the direct questions to ask to better benefit my unique business in order for me to get back the biggest refund possible. Rhonda is an ongoing student, and she knows tax laws are in a constant change every year. Call 256-281-9903 for an appointment to take the dread out of getting your taxes done. Rhonda is located at 11968 U.S. Highway 431 in Boaz. Again, that number is 256-281-9903. And let Rhonda's Elite Tax LLC champion your personal and business taxes. Jeff McCurdy of the McCurdy Law Firm has been a public service of this area for over 10 years. McCurdy, a member of the Henniger City Council, serves as prosecutor for the town of Sylvania and was named public defender for the city of Rainsville. The McCurdy Law Firm is located at 17326 Alabama Highway 75 in Henniger to better represent his Jackson and DeKalb County clients. If you need to be represented by a true public servant with proven success, call Jeff at 256-996-8701 or send a private email to mccurdylawfirm@gmail.com. No representation is made that the legal services performed is greater than the legal services performed by other lawyers. The Hatter Cafe and Country Inn is nestled in the northeast corner of Alabama the Beautiful in the delightful town of Mentone. We're located on top of scenic Lookout Mountain near Little River and DeSoto State Park and located only 5 minutes from shopping and restaurants. There is also a nearby community walking path and golf course. We welcome everyone through the doors and we are committed to outstanding service for all guests. At the Hatter Cafe and Country Inn, we invite people from all walks of life to come and get away from it all, enjoy the open spaces, treetop views, fresh, clean air, and experience Southern hospitality at its finest. We look forward to hosting you. To reserve a special event, or if you would love a special getaway at the Country Inn, you can call us at 256-634-2018.
Good afternoon. We are back. My name is Donna and I am your host of The Edge on IC Radio, your source for news and entertainment. You can also find us on television, channel 182 on Chartered Communications, and Abundant Television found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. Thank you so much for watching. We're looking for John. This is a LinkedIn website right here. And so there are some... The name of this is Save Yourself, 16 Signs That You're Wasting Your Life in the Wrong Job. Sometimes you just get the wrong job. There are so many jobs out there that are available. There is no way for this to be an excuse for you at all. You like working with kids? Maybe you could work at a daycare center. I did that one time. That was a fun job. It sure was. And then another time, I worked at a sewing plant. Was my absolutely first job. And I really didn't like it so well because I kept like cutting my finger with a little blade that would come through, and it was a kind of a start out job anyway. And then here's what happened. I thought, because I was cleaning. See, I lived in a really small town. There's no industry back in that day. Very, very small town. And so I would clean houses for people and I would babysit. And I actually liked doing that better. I made jewelry too, and I would sell that. I actually liked doing that better than the job I had. So, and I actually made more money because I enjoyed it. Yeah, I sure did. Bought my own car. And, pretty good for somebody with no experience. Okay, let's see. Now, was it a new car? No, it was a used car, but it was good when it got me around. Okay, let's see. You dread every single morning. We talked about that. You don't even see a tiny shadow of success in what you're doing. That's a dead-end job, isn't it? So what is your purpose again? Will the world change with what you're doing? Is it even helpful to humanity? Are you useful to society? Is there nothing that will ever happen, even if you do your job or not, and your existence at work doesn't mean anything to the world and its people, then you probably need to leave. There are so many different people, personalities, and some personalities would want to be a nurse. Somebody might want to be a doctor. Somebody might want to be an accountant. Somebody may want to run for public office. There's just on and on. Trade jobs. I'm just telling you, if I were some of you young people right now, I'd be getting 2 of those certificates. And let me tell you about trade jobs too. And this is not a commercial for Northeast Alabama Community College, but they have a wonderful, wonderful program out there. And so let's just take let's just say welding, for instance. Okay, so if you want to stay close to home, you can have a welding job close to home. If you want to kind of travel just a little bit, get outside of the area, you could travel with these. If you wanted to live in another state, you could do that. And in most of these cases, you will get reimbursement for moving expenses if you decide you want to move. And so, I mean, there's all kinds of possibilities. Again, now, just because you're in a spot right now, maybe it's the company you like, you just don't like the job. It's worth talking to the personnel manager or the boss to tell them you're not happy with the job, you're just not feeling fulfilled. If you do the right thing, you're there every morning, you're always on time, you're not sitting around chit-chatting on your cell phone, and you're not like the first one to leave out the door. You do things that are not in your job description, they're going to find something to keep you. I promise you that. Okay, let's see. You'd rather, let's see, you would rather stay home and do meaningful tasks. Are you kidding me? A job could be that bad. This means you don't get excited to go to work. There's nothing that makes you want to go to work or be happy doing the task. If you were to choose between household chores and your job, you'd probably pick the chores right away. It has more worth than your actual income generating work. Oh, thank God I've never had that. Every job I've ever had, I've always really loved. I absolutely have. You feel like a ghost employee. Now, what's a ghost employee? That means that you're no longer needed. Oh, everybody's needed. Your opinions don't matter. Maybe you're not important or an asset to the company. No one ever talks to you for the whole 9 hours or more at work. Nobody checks out on you. Nobody asks you how you're doing. They don't care about you for sure. They don't even know your name or realize that you're in the office. In short, you're non-existent. That's what they mean by a ghost employee there. Sometimes it's just a little bit of communication. Sometimes you're the one who has to step outside of the boundary and talk to other people. It's not all about playing games on a computer, okay? Real life is just not that way. Sometimes you got to be the first one to take the step out there. And you'll find that you just might enjoy your life once you start getting along with other folks. Okay, you're not getting what you deserve. But what do you think you deserve? That's going to be my question, okay? Because sometimes we'll start a job and we start out on the bottom of the totem pole and we think, oh, in 1 week I need to move up. Now you got to prove yourself to the company. I've got to be really harsh with you on this. It's not always going to be when you think. It could be there's not even an opening yet. So the best thing to do, if you find a company, you've done a lot of research on them and they got their feet planted really, really good into the soil, stick with them. Go overboard, okay? Come in earlier, leave later. Again, do jobs nobody else wants to do. Pick up a broom. I mean, because people are probably not, there's not as many employees around. There should be plenty of things for you to do. Okay, you're not getting what you deserve. Let's talk about this one. How long have you been working for the company? Is it even a regular job? Does the amount of money you get match the level of your competence or the actual job you do? What about other benefits? You deserve an explanation. You deserve an acceptable reason. You deserve to be recognized and rewarded. You gotta really show you stuff. You really do. Now, do a lot of research. And let's say you've got some people say, well, I've come up with an idea, but I'm afraid to get it out there to the boss. I'm afraid the boss is going to take the idea away from me. Record it. Okay? You can always record it. I'd go ahead and talk to the boss and say, something, I've come up with an idea. I think this would make us much more efficient. And maybe it's in shipping. Maybe you found a way maybe you found a shipper that would be better. Whatever. Please voice your opinion. And I'll have to tell you, don't ever be afraid to voice an opinion to the boss. Let me tell you what the boss thinks. If you voice your opinion, I'm not talking in a negative, nasty way. I'm talking about you just say, look, I'm part of this team right here. I think I found a more efficient way. And I think it's going to save you a lot of time. And it's going to save you a lot of money too. They're going to listen. If it's not about you, you take yourself out of the equation and it's all about them and it's about their company, they're going to listen to you. I promise. They sure will. Okay, so you're not getting what you deserve. How long have you been there? Is it a regular job? Does the amount of money you get match your level of competence in the actual job you have? About those benefits as well. Now let's go on to the next one. You are so overqualified that it makes you feel like a 5-year-old can do your job. Let's talk about that for a minute. I think some of these are being a little bit sarcastic. You did not go through all those years of schooling and getting a degree just to work on something that you could ask a toddler to do. A career mismatch is the start of a series of unfortunate events in your life. Prove your worth. You're not born this way. But something? There's something to be said about putting your all into the job. Let me tell you something. Okay, so I worked corporate, and there would be people that would just be standing around at the coffee maker or at the copying machine, just standing there, just talking, shooting a breeze with each other, gossiping about somebody. You're not paid to do that. You're paid to find work to do and actually do your job. And let me tell you this, if all you do is sit around and talk all day, you're never, you're gossiping about somebody, whatever, it's going to be like a really long, boring day. Get your teeth into it and really, really work. Come up with innovative ideas. Again, boss likes to hear that. I always did. Okay, let's see. So you only look forward to payday and nothing more. That would be an awful job right there. You're only looking forward to payday? So income is the only motivation. The twice a month payday is what keeps you going. It's hard to work if you only do it for the money. So one way or another, you'll soon realize that it's never about the cash you take home. It's about the joy of doing what you love to do and getting paid for it. Okay, I'm going to give you an idea. So let's say you're unhappy with the job right now, and you've done everything, and you think, well, it's not me, it's the job. I'm just not happy on the job. There's so many jobs out there. Go get another one. But look, I'm just telling you, talk with the boss, okay? Now, before you talk to the boss, what you need to do is get a piece of paper out. And what you're going to do, you're going to draw a T on this piece of paper, okay? So I'm going to go with the T right here at the top. It's not a straight line. I'm going to go my likes about the job, what I like, and what I dislike. Okay? So that's what you're going to do. You're going to draw a T, what I like about the job and what I dislike about the job. If you'll really put it down on paper, what you like and what you dislike about the job, you may find you've got more likes about the job than you thought you did. Then what you need to do is get this piece of paper. You need to set up an appointment. Don't barge in on the boss. They're busy these days because they have such few employees. Set up an appointment with your boss and say, I'd like to talk to you about this list right here that I've written, okay? And it's going to be for your benefit as well as it's going to be for my benefit. And this is what you do. Negotiation 101. When you negotiate with someone, it needs to be about them, okay? And not about you. Because the people, when they think it's all about you, they're not even going to listen to anything you say. You could have the best idea since sliced bread. They're not listening to you if they think it's all about you. If you'll go in with that list of things that you like about the job, start off, do the sandwich effect. So start out with the things you really do like about the job. Skip over and go into the dislikes, things that you don't like about the job. Go back over here to the likes and finish up with the things that you like about the job. You always want to start positive. If you got negative stuff, say that and get that out of the way. End it on a positive note. I promise you there's going to be a great outcome with that. You're literally getting sick and tired of everything, according to LinkedIn right here. These are questions that actually they polled people and asked them these questions. Headaches here, fever there, cough, colds everywhere. You're not in a healthy career, therefore you're unhappy. Stress and depression cannot be stopped unless you save yourself from this lifestyle. It's all in your mind. I'll just have to tell you, be honest with yourself and be honest with your boss, and I promise you, you're going to have a happy job. All that stuff's a bunch of nonsense. It's all about communication and getting that communication out there to your boss. My name is Donna. Thank you so much for watching The Edge on IAC Radio, your source for news and entertainment. Find us on television, channel 182 on Charter Communications and Abundant Television, found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. You can also check out the podcast right up there, and it's netnewsnetwork.net, netnewsnetwork.net. Thank you again so much for watching. You have a great one. Good afternoon. My name is Donna and I'm your host of The Edge on IC Radio, your source for news and entertainment. You can also find us on television, channel 182 on Charter Communications, as well as Abundant Television, found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. Everybody's talking about bees. I'm telling you, we are beekeepers, and we're beginning to meet a lot of interesting folks who are beekeepers as well. And there are so many benefits. We've been beekeepers now for a year, and we're waiting on two more sets of bees coming in, and we're really, really excited about that. So let's go ahead and talk about the benefits of keeping bees. And this is from the website carolinahoneybees.com. carolinahoneybees.com. So let's start digging in. Awesome benefits of keeping bees. So keeping thousands of bees with stingers in a box, does that sound like fun to you? Well, folks like me, it does. And for thousands of beekeepers, it's a wonderful, wonderful pastime. And there's so many things you can learn about beekeeping. While it involves a lot of hard work, you don't just set the box out there and forget about it. There's maintenance, there are things you need to do, but don't be too much of mother hen with them, okay? It's a wonderful pastime. So when it does involve some hard work, there are many benefits of keeping bees. Indeed, the pleasure of having your own beehive has a lot of advantages for your family and nearby neighbors as well, okay? So let's talk about it. The many advantages. Now, having some hives around is a plus, not only for the people in charge of these winged little darlings, again, but for the community as well. Now, let's talk about primary benefits of beekeeping. Okay, this is pretty cool. Again, it comes from one of my favorite websites, carolinahoneybees.com. carolinahoneybees.com. Now, keeping bees provides economic value, pollination. It also keeps jobs. If you got a garden, it'll be the best garden you have ever had. I'm telling you, hands down, a couple of things happened last year with the garden. First of all, we started using concrete blocks for the garden. It saved me so much time on weed eating. I'm telling you, it just really did. And then having the bees were pollinating everything. I had tomatoes when other people didn't have them. It's a couple of reasons. Again, the bees and the concrete blocks. I really believe that. Local pollination of small gardens. Oh boy, does it, so true. Wildlife benefit from increased food. And it's a really enjoyable hobby. If you own a business, you'll really connect to the bees because bees are just like running a business. If you can watch them, you got your drones, you got the mama bee. It's called the queen bee, and now she's a little longer than the rest of them, so you can really detect her. She rules the roost there. Okay, so she's I would say probably the CEO of the company, and then you got your workers out there, you got your drones, you got all this kind of really, really fun bees. If you're afraid of them, they're afraid of you, by the way. So as you get into the business and with your honeybees, you'll be less afraid of them. I promise you. We go out there now without even having that whole outfit on. So it's a lot of fun. You may reduce some stress. And I'm going to tell you what's so fun is when I'm working out in the yard in the garden, they follow me around like a dog. So I've got Buddy, my dog, and I've got the chickens that follow me around, and the bees. You'll feel loved and you'll feel wanted. Okay, produce natural products because we sell the honey and we eat honey every morning. I put it with apple cider vinegar and a little bit of cinnamon and some water, and then I put the honey in there, and we have that every morning for breakfast, with our breakfast, not just that, but with our breakfast. Natural products, again, the wax, I make lip glosses out of those, chapsticks out of those, the candles. I do a lot of skincare with those. I'm one of those, my skin is really finicky, so I have to have natural products whenever possible. It can be profitable too. Now, suggestion is you start small, okay? Don't be over dramatic about everything and have 10 beehives. You need to start with one, which is what we did. Now, did I want to do 10 at a time? Yes, you know how I am. But one, you got to learn, okay? You don't want to lose 10 beehives the first year. So start with one and then take notes. I have a little diary of when we did this and when we did that, what not to do, what to do, that kind of thing. And so you'll just kind of learn as you go. Be part of an organization too. We're part of the Jackson County Beekeepers Association, and they are awesome folks. I'm going to tell you what, I love going to their meetings. Every second Thursday of the month. Okay. No, I'm sorry. First Thursday of the month. I'm sorry, guys, if you're watching right now, but the first Thursday of the month begins at 6 o'clock, and they're at the Alpha Building in Scottsboro. So make sure you check that out. If you're interested, they'll sit there and groom with you and talk with you the whole way. Okay, profitable beekeeping, great family project. Great, kids love this stuff. Also, you can keep bees in many different locations if you'd like to, making new friends. Sometimes people will let you, like if you have a farm and you want the advantage of the bees out there, but you don't really have time for beekeeping, sometimes people, if you'll let them put their hives out there, they'll let you have some honey. So that's another way to get introduced into beekeeping. And I'm going to tell you, your garden is going to love it. So check around, see if there's some people that may want to put some beehives out on your land. The primary value, there's the economic benefits of beekeeping. So the primary value of beekeeping in the United States is pollination of crops, and they say we're losing bees. So the more beekeepers we have out there, better for the United States, better for pollination, okay? Modern agriculture systems are set up to grow large fields in a single kind of crop. So it's common for the fields to bloom in at the same time, which is good for bees. Crops that require insect pollination yield larger harvest with honeybees in the field. There would not be enough native pollinators to service the large number of flowers. So this is where the beekeeping businesses are able to help out farmers. Yeah, even if you own an acre of land. By the way, if you're living in a part of the United States where you have a monthly homeowners association, make sure you clear it with them, okay, before you go into the business of it. Is it okay to do beekeeping? Because you could have neighbors who freak out at bees, or maybe you're allergic to them. And if they're freaked out, I'm telling you what, a bee is going to know it, and they are going to think, ooh, they're going to kill me. So they'll come sting you first. So be careful. Now, when a bee stings you, that's the end of its life. I did find that out. That's a sad fact. Okay, let's see. Colonies are brought into the field and left for a few weeks. Now, once the bloom period is over, the hives can be easily removed to another crop in need of pollination. So again, this is just a good pollination thing. Okay, another economic benefit of beekeeping is the jobs it provides. Raising and managing colonies and producing the supplies needed for new beekeepers all provide jobs as well. Okay, let's see. Let me get out of that. I don't want to join that. Okay, I'm not ready for a commercial break yet. I'm trying to get that to go. Okay, there we go. Okay, now you can find all of this information on carolinahoneybees.com. That's carolinahoneybees.com. Now, pollination for your garden. This is the reason we started beekeeping. Okay, plus we love honey and the wax that comes from it. But it's not just about large farms that benefit from beekeeping. Small home gardens and orchards produce more fruits and vegetables with good pollination. I know last year was the first year of beekeeping. Our fruit trees is so abundant. We have apple trees, peach trees, pear trees, and we also have pecan trees, plus just other fruits and vegetables. They're all over them. As a matter of fact, one time I thought we were losing the beehive because they all got together and they were kind of swarming. And it's a beautiful thing to watch, by the way, swarming, when they're swarming around like that. And so they all got on the peach tree. There was something about that peach tree. It smelled really good. Oh, and let me give you another added benefit. When you going ahead and structure your trees and you take off the limbs that are just not good and not producing, if you'll use a wood chipper or some way to chip that wood down, put that around your bees, they love the smell of it. They really, especially peaches. That's what we noticed last year. Oh, and they also like all kinds of like your plants and gardens. Anything that's got a flower on it, they're going to love it. Dandelions, I've begged Phil not to cut the grass yet because we have dandelions all over the place in the yard. And that's their first food for the season, and they love them. Okay, did you know this? Bees can fly several miles to a good food source. Now, what this means is that even if you don't have a colony, one that belongs to your neighbor may still visit your garden, and it's going to pollinate. Now, the hives in your backyard can help increase the yield of your vegetable garden and that of your neighbors too, like your apples, almonds, if you have that, and anywhere here in Alabama, but you folks out west, almonds, berries, melons, and other plants that benefit from the bees visiting with them. Absolutely. Now, if you feel that harvesting honey is bad for bees or you just don't want the hassle, you can still enjoy a hive. You most certainly can. Now, keeping bees provides more food for wildlife. We're going to talk about this just for a minute, and then we're going to go into a commercial break. So, having a small beehive of bees around can be beneficial for the environment and the wildlife. Now, a honeybee colony has large number of worker bees. Now, these bees go out and they forage. They go out and they're searching for nectar and pollen. They pollinate blooming native plants. And yes, they do compete with native pollinators for food sources. However, unless the area is overstocked with beehives, the added pollination of wild plants increases the fruits available for birds and for other wildlife. Now, a side effect for caring for bees also helps with wildlife. So if you love nature, this is what you need. Beekeepers learn about how pesticides harm their bees. So this often encourages them to avoid some of those toxic chemicals as well. Okay, we've got to go into a commercial break, and we'll be right back in just a few minutes. The Hatter Cafe and Country Inn is nestled in the northeast corner of Alabama the Beautiful in the delightful town of Mentone. We're located on top of scenic Lookout Mountain near Little River and DeSoto State Park and located only 5 minutes from shopping and restaurants. There is also a nearby community walking path and golf course. We welcome everyone through the doors, and we are committed to outstanding service for all guests. At the Hatter Cafe and Country Inn, we invite people from all walks of life to come and get away from it all, enjoy the open spaces, treetop views, fresh, clean air, and experience Southern hospitality at its finest. We look forward to hosting you. To reserve a special event, or if you would love a special getaway at the Country Inn, you can call us at 256-634-2018.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and my employees and I want to thank each and every one of you for your continued support. With everything going on right now, your rest is so important. That's why we're having the biggest MyPillow sale ever. Not only are my bed pillows as low as $19.98, but you can get the best body pillows ever. Regular $89.98, now only $29.98. Take your rest on the go with our Roll and Go Anywhere MyPillows for only $14.98. And we have our new couch and accent pillows. They aren't just for looks. They have MyPillow's patented adjustable fill that gives you that amazing MyPillow comfort. In this economy, you get the best gifts ever for the best prices ever. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code and you get deep discounts on body, couch, bolster pillows, and so much more, including my original bed pillows for as low as $19.98. Please order now while quantities last.
At Liberty Bank, we're all about community, whether it's to help with a charity fundraiser or help families in need. Toys at Christmas or a local football team, we're here for you. You see, we realize the importance of family. Sometimes it's to build a new home or necessary home repairs. We're here for you. If you like the feel of a small town bank with all the conveniences of a big city bank, we're here to serve you. You will find us at any of our convenient locations in DeKalb, Marshall, Etowah, and Blount counties in North Alabama. You can call and speak with any of our friendly staff at 256-659-2175 or check us out on the web at libertybankal.com. And thank you for your support of our community. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender. Let Rhonda at Rhonda's Elite Tax LLC take the burden off you for all your tax needs. I know because Rhonda has been taking care of my business since 2013. I feel Rhonda works for me because she knows the direct questions to ask to better benefit my unique business in order for me to get back the biggest refund possible. Rhonda is an ongoing student, and she knows tax laws are in a constant change every year. Call 256-281-9903 for an appointment to take the dread out of getting your taxes done. Rhonda is located at 11968 U.S. Highway 431 in Boaz. Again, that number is 256-281-9903. And let Rhonda's Elite Tax LLC champion your personal and business taxes. Jeff McCurdy of the McCurdy Law Firm has been a public service of this area for over 10 years. McCurdy, a member of the Henniger City Council, serves as prosecutor for the town of Sylvania and was named public defender for the city of Rainsville. The McCurdy Law Firm is located at 17326 Alabama Highway 75 in Henniger to better represent his Jackson and DeKalb County clients. If you need to be represented by a true public servant with proven success, call Jeff at 256-996-8701 or send a private email to mccurdylawfirm@gmail.com. No representation is made that the legal services performed is greater than the legal services performed by other lawyers.
Okay, we are back. My name is Donna Feazell, and I'm your host of The Edge on IC Radio, your source for news and entertainment. We're talking about beekeeping. The benefits of being a beekeeper are the benefits of having land and letting someone put bees on your land. And sometimes it's a trade-off. Sometimes they'll let you have a few jars of honey just for letting them use your land. And it's very beneficial to your land as well, and for all the wildlife out there. So let's get into it a little bit more. This is about if you want to have beekeeping as a hobby. And again, now, if you live in a subdivision somewhere and you have an association, homeowners association, you better check with them, make sure it's okay before you go into the expense of beekeeping, because some will not allow it. I know some would even let you plant a tomato plant. Ugh. Now, when we were living in Charlotte, we had a homeowners association as well. It wasn't so bad. It was like about $30 a month. But I can see where it can be annoying. I've heard horror stories, but always check with them first. Beekeeping is an engaging hobby. Now, the joy of being a beekeeper must not be overlooked. A beekeeper harvesting their first honey crop. I remember we were so excited when we got the first bee crop. It's filled with a sense of achievement, and I promise that it will be the best tasting honey ever. Oh, it's better than anything you can buy in the grocery store. Learning how to manage a colony and bringing them through the winter is a good shape and a good feeling too. It really is. In fact, the study of beekeeping will provide one with many years of engaging learning opportunities, and even then, you will only scratch that surface of the secret of bees. Again, this is found on CarolinaHoneybees.com. CarolinaHoneybees.com. Okay, let's look and make sure I've had plenty of time. Okay, there's mental health benefits of keeping bees. I can see it. I really can. Okay, for some, the act of tending a beehive has a calming effect. Mental health issues such as depression, PTSD, and even anxiety having shown improvement for those involved in beekeeping. You'll also find many famous people became beekeepers too in order to relax and connect with nature. I don't care how demanding your job is, you got to connect to nature. Okay, it's going to help you. Even as an anxiety sufferer, the writer of Carolina Bees, honeybees.com says, I must say they can cause you some frustration too, but he also feels the benefits of keeping bees has outweighed the hassles. Okay, produce helpful products. This is another thing. So your business, this is a great, great thing to do. To many, a favorite beekeeping benefit is the many products produced by the hive. These are used in the beekeeper's home or made into items for sale or gifts. So honey, beeswax. Did you know that you can actually sell pollen? Yeah, and that's good for bees. Also propolis and venom. Do you know that, in fact, there was this guy who came to the last beekeeping, or the one before the last beekeeping meeting in Scottsboro, and he's been a beekeeper for just decades. And he said that this actually works. He said people who have arthritis, he actually gets a bee and it stings them wherever the arthritis is, and it helps their arthritis. Yeah. Also, women who are getting these little injection shots, and they want to like not have wrinkles and stuff on their face, they actually allow someone to sting them with a honeybee. Yeah. I mean, if you're going to let somebody put shots in, you might as well let a bee sting you. But anyway, I'm not going to go that far. I'm pretty good with not having that done to me. Okay, now honey is usually the thing that comes to mind, but each individual bee only produces a small amount of honey. But when thousands, and that's what we have, thousands of bees work together, it can add up to a lot. The harvest can be used by the beekeeper's family or sold to locals. I have a waiting list of people waiting on us to harvest the honey from the bees. However, the gifts from the hive are numerous and not limited to honey alone. So bee pollen, propolis, and certain raw wax are valuable products to use or sell. Beeswax candles are highly prized and they make really good gifts too. I'll tell you what I like about I've been selling soy candles for years, and soy candles are really awesome, but the only thing is they're really soft and they have to be made and put in a jar. It has to be in a container. But beeswax is a really hard wax, so you can actually make tapered candles out of those and standalone candles. You don't have to have a container for beeswax. That's pretty cool. And there's ways to harvest that. So I did that last year. So when I harvest again, I'm going to have a video and let you see how I actually harvest that wax that comes from the bees. Okay, let's see. What else have we got here? Okay, bee stings are not usually considered to be desirable. This is what I was talking about just a minute ago. However, some beekeepers sell bee venom to use in sting therapy. It's not uncommon to find an arthritis sufferer that keeps the beehives just for the benefits of the sting therapy. Now, beekeeping can be profitable. Now, not every hobby is profitable, okay? Sometimes we have a hobby on collecting Barbie dolls. It may not be profitable if you don't have the right Barbie doll with complete packaging and that kind of thing. But beekeeping really can. It's the easiest way to make a profit. The United States, the majority of beekeepers are small-scale hobbyists, but that does not mean you cannot make money from bees. Beekeeping can be a very profitable business. Perhaps you want to manage hundreds of colonies for honey production, or a beekeeper can raise and sell bees or equipment to other beekeepers. I know beekeepers who are only in it just for queen bees, and they sell them. Even hive products from a bee farm can provide a living with time and hard work. Now, if this is your dream, take the time to develop a plan. It's like any other business, okay? So, develop a plan, and it is important to understand the risk, the start cost, continuing expenses, and challenges of running a bee farm. You need to know what to do and what not to do when you start bees, okay? For most people, backyard beekeeping is a hobby or a small side business. A lot of folks are looking for side businesses. This would be a good one. Make a little extra money. The beekeeper sells excess honey to local farmers markets. Now, the sale of extra swarms or beehive splits can also help recoup some of the cost of owning your own hive. That's what I want to do. This is a great option as it allows the bees to pay for their own upkeep. So that's what I'm going to do. So once I get the niche, once I get it down, because people can call you and say, hey, I've got bees at my house. I have bees in my barn. I have bees on whatever part of their land. And they want to get rid of them if they're afraid of them or if they're allergic to, some people are allergic to being stung by bees. So if that happens, I'm going to be on call. I'll be out there with my outfit, and there I'm going to be getting some bees for my own hives. Okay. Let's see, state-sponsored tax breaks. Now, due to the problems facing honeybees in recent years, some states provide incentive tax breaks for beekeepers. So to learn if these are available in your area, check with your local state Department of Agriculture and just find out if there are. Beekeeping is a family bonding experience. It may surprise you to learn that one benefit of keeping bees is more family time. Yeah, letting the kids become involved in taking care of the hive is a unique educational experience. Beekeeping suits are available in kids' sizes too, so helping mom, dad, grandmother, or grandfather with the bees is an experience that will never be forgotten. It most certainly is. My grandmother was a beekeeper, and I remember watching her go out to the beehive. She had the old outfit and everything on, and it was out there close to the front yard where the mailbox is now. So she had, I think, 4 or 5 bees beehives. And so she would go out there and harvest that honey, and it was good. And she didn't make wax candles or anything, but we loved that wax, and we would just chew on it. So what she would do, she would send some home with us and had honey in it, and it also had part of the wax in there. It was just something good to chew on. Beehives can be kept in many places. Not every location is a good one for beehive now. Yet honeybees are quite portable, and many places are suitable for a hive or two. So urban beekeeping is a thing in some cities. Check with local officials before getting a hive. Of course, keeping bees with neighbors close by has special challenges, but it can be done. Meeting new friends is a good way. Man, some of the nicest people I've ever met are beekeepers, and they're absolutely awesome. Oh, let me go ahead and turn it back. My internet wanted to do something really strange, but I love these folks that we meet with. Again, it's always the first Thursday of the month in Scottsboro. So you're making all kinds of great friends by doing this. And let's see, where did I get to right here? We talked about the benefits, and this is a great thing. Meeting new friends. Beekeepers love nothing more than to talk about their hives. We all get together and we all start sharing stories. That's the way it goes. And yes, we can go on and on about our experiences. Sometimes our families regret. Keeping bees can bring some new friends into your life. Now, local beekeeping associations hold regular meetings like the one right here in Jackson County for members of the community to come together and learn. These can be a lot of fun. Beekeepers are the first line of defense. Let's talk about that. Beekeepers actually help keep the overall health of honeybees at a higher level. Now, some people say that beekeepers use bees for their own benefit, and in fact, that's why most vegans avoid honey. I respect their view, although I feel differently. Most beekeepers strive to take care of their colonies. In fact, they are most often the first to notice major problems in the hives. Now, when colony collapse disorder, that's called CCD, was first observed, it was beekeepers that noticed the problems first. Colony failures on a large scale was a sign that something big and strange was happening, so reducing bee population alerted researchers to begin exploring possible causes. So beekeepers do help bees. So in any colony suffering from parasites, the varroa mite, we have to be careful of that, could die without intervention. So likewise, a colony that loses a queen benefits from having a caring beekeeper to make sure that things are absolutely set right. Thank you so much for watching The Edge on IC Radio. I love beekeeping. It's just so much fun. And again, if you own some land somewhere, find a beekeeper. Again, if you'll let them use your land, they may let you house. Those are some kind of a trade out. You won't be doing it for nothing. But even if they don't give you the honey, your garden is going to love you. I promise you, the garden's going to be awesome. So again, thank you so much for watching. My name is Donna with IC Radio, The Edge. You can find us on television, channel 182 on Charter Communications, Abundant Television found on Roku, Apple TV, Amazon Fire. Make sure you check out the podcast, netnewsnetwork.net. netnewsnetwork.net. Again, thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.
At Lamone's Mexican Restaurant, located in Henniger, Alabama, and voted Best Mexican Restaurant of DeKalb County, Alabama 2020, we're here to serve you with authentic Mexican cuisine. Order easily online by going to lamonsmex.com or call 256-657-3999 to place your order. We're open Sunday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Friday and Saturday, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Whether you're celebrating a cozy date night for two or a celebration for a crowd, at Lamone's you'll love our atmosphere and friendly servers. Thank you for dining with Lamone's Mexican Restaurant.
afternoon. My name is Donna and I'm your host of The Edge on IC Radio, your source for news and entertainment. You can also find us on television, channel 182 on Charter Communications, and Abundant Television found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. Thank you so much for watching today. You can also find us on the podcast, netnewsnetwork.net, netnewsnetwork.net. Thank you so much for watching any way you possibly can. We're going to talk about understanding depression, 22 things you can try to overcome depression. Sometimes it's a frame of mind. Sometimes you might seek help on this. But let's talk about these 22 things you can try and see if we can make life just a little bit easier. There are a number of steps you can take to manage and navigate. It could be something really, really simple like your daily routine, your diet, your lifestyle habits. All of those things can have a positive effect on depression. Small steps, big impact. So, if a person feels sustained, intense feelings of sadness or loss of interest in activities, they may have clinic depression. People also refer to this condition as major depressive disorder. You can find this article right here on healthline.com. That's healthline.com. However, there's some small steps you can take to gain more agency in your life and improve your sense of well-being. And everyone deserves that. Okay, we all deserve it. Okay, number one, meet yourself where you are. What does that mean? Meet yourself where you are. Depression is common. It affects millions of people, including some in your life. You may not realize they face similar challenges, but a lot of people do. Emotions and obstacles, they're for all of us to jump those hurdles, okay? So the key to navigating depression is to be open, accepting, and loving towards yourself and whatever you may be going through. We all go through stuff, you know? It could be family issues, it could be job issues, it could be all kinds of things. But this is the thing I want you to really think about. Let's hone in on this. Every day with this disorder is different. It's important to take your mental health seriously and accept that where you are right now isn't where you'll always be. We've all been through these things, right? Maybe you're getting a divorce. Maybe you just lost your job. I mean, maybe this, maybe that, maybe this, maybe, I'll have to tell you what I've thought about worry. I used to be just a chronic worrier about everything. I'd care about what somebody thought about me and would just be on and on and on about it. Those things really don't matter. And most of the things you think are gonna happen are not gonna happen. You've worried for absolute nothing. So this is what I've learned to do. I've had to train myself, okay? So if I think something might happen, I don't dwell on it. And if it does happen, I'll just deal with it. That's the best way to handle it. Okay? Now, we talked about that one. Let's talk about number two. If you're up for exercise, consider a walk around the block. Daily exercise has helped me. I mean, it really has. On days when you feel if you can't get out of bed, exercise may seem like the last thing you would absolutely want to do. However, exercise and physical activity can help you to lower symptoms of depression and boost those energy levels. It does. Just a simple walk outside. A little bit chilly today, kind of doesn't feel like spring out there right now. But bundle up, put a coat on, make a brisk walk as fast as you can, get out of that outside. Oh, and something else you're doing, if you stay in when you're feeling a little bit depressed about something, it does something to your mind. You've got to get out and you've got to explore. If you'll do that, take a walk around the house, a walk around where you work, do that. When you come back in, you're going to feel more refreshed. You absolutely do. Okay, let's see, on days when you feel like that, it says, suggests that some people exercise can be effective as medication at relieving depression symptoms. May also help prevent future depressive episodes. Even when you have the feeling that you're unable to or have very little energy, see if you'd be willing to do the opposite of what the mood is telling you to do, okay? Such as curling up in bed. That's what your mood tells you to do. Instead, set a small goal for yourself, such as taking a walk around the block. You'd be amazed at how that helps. It really does. Number three, know that today isn't indicative of tomorrow. That's true. Every day does not have to be the same. Internal emotions and thoughts can change from day to day. Tracking experiences through journaling, I love to journal, or keeping a mood diary can help you to remember this. I keep a diary for everything. My friend Loretta Roger made a book for me. I think it's behind me back here. But she actually made a book, handcrafted a book for me, and I use it for gardening and for beekeeping and anything else I'm doing, whatever hobby, for the show. I have one for that as well. You know, when I come up with an idea, I go ahead and jot that down in the diary. And what's fun is you can see where you may have made some mistakes. At least I do. Maybe in gardening, I may have planted something off season. I may have set the wrong kind of fertilizer. I may have done something I shouldn't have done, and it wound up being a bad thing for the gardening part of it. Well, guess what? That's okay. I learned from it. And you can do the same thing. Keep a journal. When you start feeling a mood, write that down. Just put it down on a piece of paper. And there's something about writing it down instead of typing it. Okay, I love to type, it's faster, blah, blah. However, if I'm putting my pen to the paper and I'm writing it down, it seems to get up here and stay here a lot longer. That's just some advice from me. Okay, number 4, access the parts instead of generalizing the whole. Let's see what that means. Depression can tinge recollections with difficult emotions. You may find yourself focusing on things that are unhelpful or perceived as difficult. Nobody wants difficult, do they? Sometimes you just got in there and just dive in there and take care of it. Try to stop this overgeneralization. I've been known to overgeneralize everything. I have. So push yourself to recognize the good. If it helps, again, write it down. You're going to see this all through this article right here at healthline.com. Write it down. Write what was meaningful about the event or day. You can track what you achieved that day, in which activities you found enjoyable. Seeing the weight you're giving to one thing may help you direct your thoughts away from the whole into the individual pieces that were helpful. It's kind of like the likes and the dislikes. Write a T on a piece of paper and then put a line through there. I'm sure you can make a better looking T than I have. And then you'll put what you liked about the day, what you disliked about the day. If you'll do that, just write it down. You're probably going to find you liked things much more than you disliked things, because what we're prone to do as human beings is just to really sit there and just keep on about what happened. What was the one you had 1,000 good things happen today. One good thing, one bad thing cropped up, and that's where your mind is. Get out of that cycle, okay? All it's going to do is ruin you. Number 5, do the opposite of what the depression voice suggests. That's key on right there. The automatic unhelpful voice in your head may talk you out of self-help. However, if you can learn to recognize it, you can learn to work through it. If you believe an event won't be fun or worth your time, say to yourself, you might be right, but I'll just be better sitting here another night all by myself. You may soon that automatic thought isn't always helpful. I know we work hard all day and we've got the radio station, we've got the TV show, and there are things that we do all day long. And sometimes I'll say we've got a beekeeping class. It's always the first Thursday of the month. And sometimes I'll look at Phil and say, let's do a rain check on this one. You know, we're both a little bit tired. And then Phil will say something like, well, you know, they'll probably come up with some really good ideas for us this beekeeping class. And I'll say, you're right, let's go. When I get there and we start listening to the instructor, it's like, wow, I'm glad we didn't stay at home. I'm glad we went on ahead and did what we needed to do, because there's always a gold nugget that you can take with you that's going to advance your life and make things a lot better for you. Number 6, set attainable goals. You know, I'm bad at that one. I get really ambitious, and I think, okay, I'm going to tell you what we did one time. So Mother and I went to this lady's farm, and she said, my kids don't want these pears, so just take all you want. Load the cart in if you want to. She said, I'd rather somebody have them than them to rot on the ground. Boy, am I ambitious. We filled up the back seat of that car and even got almost to the back window. We had so many pears in there. And after peeling hundreds of pears, and I had these little things all over, little blisters actually all over my hands, I thought, was I too ambitious with this? Yeah, I was a little bit too ambitious with it. So set attainable goals, okay? Something that's not going to wear you out mentally. A lengthy to-do list may be weighty. That's what you'd rather do than to do nothing, right? But instead of compiling a long list of tasks, consider doing some smaller goals. That's a good idea. Okay, setting and accomplishing these goals can actually provide a sense of control and accomplishment, and it'll help you with motivation, because as soon as you hit that goal, once you've received it, it's like, I made something happen. I did it. I made something happen. Celebrate it. You've made something happen. But don't keep celebrating. Go on to the next one. So make small steps, and you're going to see a lot better things, more better things going to come out of your life. Now, attainable goals can include, don't clean the house, take the trash out. All right, I've taken the trash out. Now what can I do? And write all of these things down in your journal, okay? Don't do all the laundry that's piled up. Just sort the piles by color. Yeah. Or don't clear out the entire email inbox. Just address any time-sensitive messages. When you've done a small thing, set your eyes on doing another small thing, then another small thing. This way you've got a list of tangible achievements and not an untouched, humongous to-do list. Small goals, that's the best way to do it. We've got to go into a commercial break. We'll be right back in just a few minutes.
The Hatter Cafe and Country Inn is nestled in the northeast corner of Alabama the Beautiful in the delightful town of Mentone. We're located on top of scenic Lookout Mountain near Little River and DeSoto State Park, and located only 5 minutes from shopping and restaurants. There is also a nearby community walking path and golf course. We welcome everyone through the doors, and we are committed to outstanding service for all guests. At the Hatter Cafe and Country Inn, we invite people from all walks of life to come and get away from it all, enjoy the open spaces, treetop views, fresh, clean air, and experience Southern hospitality at its finest. We look forward to hosting you. To reserve a special event, or if you would love a special getaway at the Country Inn, you can call us at 256-634-2018.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and my employees and I want to thank each and every one of you for your continued support. With everything going on right now, your rest is so important. That's why we're having the biggest MyPillow sale ever. Not only are my bed pillows as low as $19.98, but you can get the best body pillows ever. Regular $89.98, now only $29.98. Take your rest on the go with our Roll and Go Anywhere MyPillows for only $14.98. And we have our new couch and accent pillows. They aren't just for looks. They have MyPillow's patented adjustable fill that gives you that amazing MyPillow comfort. In this economy, you get the best gifts ever for the best prices ever. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code and you get deep discounts on body, couch, bolster pillows, and so much more, including my original bed pillows for as low as $19.98. Please order now while quantities last.
Let Rhonda at Rhonda's Elite Tax LLC take the burden off you for all your tax needs. I know because Rhonda has been taking care of my business since 2013. I feel Rhonda works for me because she knows the direct questions to ask to better benefit my unique business in order for me to get back the biggest refund possible. Rhonda is an ongoing student, and she knows tax laws are in a constant change every year. Call 256-281-9903 for an appointment to take the dread out of getting your taxes done. Rhonda is located at 11968 U.S. Highway 431 in Boaz. Again, that number is 256-281-9903. And let Rhonda's Elite Tax LLC champion your personal and business taxes.
Are you ready?
We all wonder what tomorrow will bring, but the future lays itself at the feet of the prepared and surrenders to the will of the persistent. It's not easy, but today shapes you so you can shape tomorrow. With Northeast Alabama Community College, when the future asks if you're ready, you can answer
yes.
Begin your future at Northeast Alabama Community College.
The only place I buy my beef is Lone Tree Ranch in Collinsville, Alabama. Their cattle is born and raised on their ranch, grass and grain fed, and you can feel confident when you serve your family and friends because their beef is all natural and no antibiotics or hormones are added. You can buy whole beef or perhaps go in with family or friends and buy half. Their customer service is number one as they take care of the delivery to their local processor and can deliver to your home for a small added fee. They also offer herd replacement heifers. I always call Lone Tree Ranch in Collinsville, Alabama for my beef specialty recipes and cookouts, and you can too. Food shortages are increasing, so buy local by calling 256-523-6462. That's 256-523-6462.
Okay, we are back.
At Lamone's Mexican Restaurant, located in Henniger, Alabama, and voted Best Mexican Restaurant of DeKalb County, Alabama 2020, we're here to serve you with authentic Mexican cuisine. Order easily online by going to lamonsmex.com or call 256-657-3999 to place your order. We're open Sunday through Thursday 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Friday and Saturday 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Whether you're celebrating a cozy date night for two or a celebration for a crowd, at Lamone's you'll love our atmosphere and friendly servers. Thank you for dining with Lamone's Mexican Restaurant.
My name is Donna, and I'm your host of The Edge on IC Radio, your source for news and entertainment. You know, you can find us on television too, channel 182 on Charter Communications, and Abundant Television, which is found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. Sure do appreciate you watching us today. We're talking about attainable goals that can fight off depression. You know, everybody goes through it at one time or another in their life, and if you can just learn to get a manage on it, just, you know, get in there and dig in there and make it happen. Jot down your likes and dislikes about your life. Have small attainable goals. You'll get out of that depression. You can find this on healthline.com. Healthline.com. Okay, so reward your efforts. You know, something we hardly ever do. We're just in that old grindstone stage and you're just doing your job. You're doing these tasks and you almost feel like a robot, right? You're just walking around just like this. Reward your efforts, okay? You've attained a goal, go ahead and reward yourself. All goals are worthy of recognition, and all successes are worthy of celebration. So when you achieve a goal, do your best to recognize it. You may not feel like celebrating with a cake and confetti, but recognizing your own success may be a very powerful weapon. Another depression's negative weight. So the memory of a job well done may be especially powerful agent and against unhelpful talk and overgeneralization. This is a good one right here too. You may find it helpful to create a routine. That really does help. If depressive symptoms disrupt your daily routine, you can set a gentle schedule, and it's going to help you feel like you're more in control. I think a lot of depression starts when you feel like, oh, my whole world's out of control. Nothing is happening correctly. It's out of control. Make things change. Okay, these plans don't have to map out an entire day, maybe just a partial day. So focus on creating a loose but structured routine that will help you keep your daily pace going. Okay, so you're not just stopping and you're not just, oh my goodness, look, this happened today. You know, and it's easy to do that. Okay, do something you enjoy. I can't say that enough. I don't like being inside the house all day long. I like getting out, walking out, seeing the pretty sunshine when it's a pretty sunshiny day, the green grass, the beautiful sky. Even when it's raining, I'd rather be outside than inside. Some people are just wired that way. Whatever it is you like to do, okay? It can be something simple or it can be something dramatic, but whatever you like to do. Depression can push you to give in to your fatigue. Sure can. And it may feel more powerful than preferred emotions. So try to push back and do something you love, something that's pleasurable and meaningful. It could be playing an instrument, it could be painting, it could be hiking, or it could be biking. The byproduct of engaging in a meaningful activity can lift your mood and your energy. It can also further motivate you to continue to engage in helpful activities that help you with navigating symptoms. Okay, like listening to music. I do too. Studies have shown that music can be a great way to boost your mood and improve symptoms of depression. It can also help you strengthen your reception of positive emotions. Music can be especially beneficial when performed in group settings, such as a musical ensemble or a band. You can also reap some of the same rewards just simply by listening to music. There's just something about putting an Aretha Franklin song on and listening through my earbuds right here. There's just something about it. Respect. It makes you want to get up there. It makes you want to dance, right? Whoever your favorite artist is. There's something about jazz music. Kind of puts you into a good. Find out what works for you. I like country music too. So, I mean, just whatever it is, something you like with the right tempo. You know what's a really good thing to do is walking with earbuds in your ears to maybe something like Staying Alive, Staying Alive, Staying Alive, Staying Alive. And you're just walking to the beat of that song right there. Put you in a good mood. Sure can. Do a little dance. Who cares? Dance like nobody's watching. You remember that one? Dance like nobody's watching. Spend time in nature. That's probably my favorite thing to do. Spending time in nature can have a powerful influence on a person's mood. Research suggests that walks in nature may improve depressive symptoms in people with clinical depression. Time in natural places may improve mood and cognition and lower the risk of mental health disorders. However, there's only limited research on the direct effect of nature on those with clinical depression. Consider taking a walk while you're in your lunch hour among the trees, or spending time at the local park, or plan a weekend hike. A lot of folks just wait till the weekend. These activities can help you to reconnect with nature and soak in some rays at the same time. I think something gets me out of a nasty mood is to go fishing. I love to fish. And get you a fishing license, go to wherever, if it's in Scottsboro, if it's at Gunnersville, wherever, take a fishing rod and just go fishing. That can do wonders for you. Okay, number 12, spend time with loved ones. Depression can tempt you to isolate yourself and withdraw from people you love and trust. And face-to-face time can help wash away those tendencies. If you're unable to spend time together in person, phone calls, we got video chats now. It can also be helpful. Try to remember yourself, these people, they do care about you. Resist the temptation to feel like you're a burden. You need the interaction, and they probably do too. Okay, use writing or journaling to express your feelings. We talk about journaling on everything, whether that be camping or whether it be gardening or beekeeping or whatever. Keep a journal. Again, it helps get your thoughts together. And if it's something maybe you messed up, you made a mistake. And by the way, don't beat yourself down when you've made a mistake. A lot of folks do that, and it turns into depression. Just, get forgiveness for it and just don't do it again. And just be glad that you had the insight to not do it again, okay? Everybody's made mistakes. Consider writing or journaling about what you're experiencing. And then when the feelings lift, write about that too. Don't just put the bad stuff on there. Put, you know what? I feel good today. Something really good happened today, and jot that down. I'm left-handed, so handwriting it down on that piece of paper does something. It does something to the brain, okay? I think a lot of times we've become disconnected with writing, and we're typing everything. And typing's fine. I like typing. But there's something about writing something down in a journal. There's just something about that. Okay, writing down your thoughts can help you to express what you're feeling a little more clearly. They agree with me here. It can also help you keep track of what symptoms you're having on each day, and you can identify with them. Some people would actually, that are depressed, would jot down how they're feeling that day. They even put the weather in there. It could be like a rainy day that gets you down. It could be that. Or it could be it was hot outside, it was humid, or it could be it was really, really cold outside. So you kind of got into your cocoon and, kind of got away from people and got depressed. Writing that down kind of helps. And also the time of the day that it hits you, that's important as well. You can make a goal to write just a few minutes every day, or every week you can do that. But most importantly is what you write down. It's completely up to you, and it's your business only. Absolutely, it's only your business. Try something entirely new. Sometimes we get in a rut because we're doing the same thing over and over and over again. So when you do the same thing every day, you're using the same parts of your brain. Research has shown that new things can feel rewarding and can improve your overall well-being and strengthen your social relationships. To reap these benefits, consider trying a new sport, taking a creative class, or learning a new cooking technique. That's always fun for me, get in the kitchen in there and try to learn how to do something new. Volunteering, this is the big one right here. So let me take a little sip. Asthma sometimes, Volunteering can be a great way to do both, okay? So let's talk about this. Knock out a few birds with one stone. Spending time with other people and doing something new by volunteering and giving your time to someone or something else. You're taking yourself out of the equation. You're helping somebody else. You may be used to receiving help from friends, but reaching out and providing help may actually improve your mental health more. Bonus, people who volunteer experience physical benefits too. This includes a lower risk of hypertension. Some of the most giving people I know are the happiest. They give everything. They give money, they give time, they give themselves, and they're probably the happiest people on the planet. You can always use this as a way to practice gratitude. Okay, so when you do something you love, or even when you find a new activity you enjoy, you may be able to boost your mental health more by taking time to be thankful for it. Research has shown gratitude can have lasting positive effects on your overall mental health. Once more, writing down your gratitude. We talked about, get your journal. Writing, including writing notes to others, can be a meaningful thing to do. I'm a daughter-in-law. She doesn't suffer depression or anything like that, but I could probably give Larissa a paper clip and she would send me a thank you note and say thank you for the paper clip. It's just it's a wonderful thing of gratitude. She appreciates it. Okay, incorporating meditation may also help ground your thoughts, or I might say prayer will help ground your thoughts. Stress and anxiety can prolong your depression symptoms. Finding relaxation techniques or praying can help you lower stress and invite more joy and balance into your day. Research suggests activities such as meditation, yoga, deep breathing, journaling, and prayer may help you improve your sense of well-being and feel more connected to actually what's happening around you. This is an important one right here. Assess your diet. There's no magic diet that will treat depression, but what you put into your body can have a real and significant impact on the way you feel. Some people also feel better and have more energy when they avoid sugar. That's true. Preservatives and processed foods. Go out and have a garden. Eat your own beans and potatoes that you raised. I promise you, you're going to feel better because it's not going to have a bunch of junk in it. Now, if you have the means, consider meeting with a doctor or a registered dietitian for guidance. And this is what the suggestion is right here. Eating a rich diet in lean meats, vegetables, and grains may be a great place to start. You can also try to limit stimulants, and this is a hard one with me, caffeine. I got to have it in the morning, I think. So try to limit stimulants such as coffee, caffeine, soda, depressants. Don't do alcohol, okay? Consider limiting drugs and alcohol. That's a big one right there. Get enough sleep. You need to do that. Accept the validity of your emotions. Consider clinical treatment as well. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Donna Fiesel, and I'm your host of The Edge on IC Radio. We are your source for news and entertainment. You can find us on television, channel 182 on Charter Communications, and Abundance Television found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. You can also find us on podcasts, and that's netnewsnetwork.net. netnewsnetwork.net. Thank you so much for watching.